I'm a chef. At my mother-in-law's 60th, she lifted her fork, sniffed, and smiled at me. This smells familiar, like the canned dog food my neighbor buys. The table froze. I set my glass down, met her eyes, and said, "Thanks for the feedback. I didn't cook this." Richard, my boss, the one whose food gets photographed the way movie stars do, raised his hand. I did. Silence detonated. That was the night everything snapped, before the snap names Marcus Hale. I didn't come up through a glittering culinary school. I came up through burnt palms, cheap rentals, and second-hand knives. Benson and Vale's test kitchen smelled like lemon peel and ambition the day I walked in. Richard Benson, VP, career kingmaker, took a gamble on me because, as he put it, my food made people stop talking mid-sentence. That's also where I met Clara. Sharp knife, sharper mind, the kind of cook who could brunoise an onion to the millimeter and read my flavor intent from across a burner. We moved like choreography. She reached for time. I was already toasting it. We fell in love the way good stock comes together. Low heat, constant attention, everything richer for the simmer. 6 months after the wedding, her mother Sharon arrived in our life like a perfectly iced cake that's actually styrofoam inside. Pearls, perfume, and a smile that said, "Please step on this trap I've set for you." We temporarily moved into her immaculate museum of a house. Sharon never shouted. She didn't need to. She had a way of turning manners into weapons. How interesting you load a dishwasher like that. Such a robust amount of coffee. How creative. Tiny taps on the same bruise. I could have handled the taps. What I couldn't handle was watching. Clara gets smaller, laughs half-formed, sentences tested against her mother's face before she finished them, apologies where none were needed. The night I served 6-hour braised short ribs, and Sharon said, "God, this smells like something you'd feed a dog." I waited for my wife to say enough. She didn't. I slept on the guest room couch and understood a new kind of cold, the birthday dinner. Clara wanted a reset. Her 60th, she said. Family, a few friends. Maybe we can start over. Love makes people do stupid things. I said yes. I built a menu like a peace offering. Beet tartlets with goat cheese and candied walnuts. Saffron risotto, stirred to velvet. Duck à l'orange, skin like stained glass, sauce with a PhD. Sharon curated a guest list heavy on cousins who speak fluent humble brag, book club royalty, and, oddly, Richard Benson. Richard showed up early, rolled his sleeves and said, "Let me cook. You plate." Under any other roof, I'd have laughed him out of the kitchen. Under Sharon's, I stepped aside. My gut told me he wasn't here for canapes. The table gleamed like a jewelry case. Sharon held court in beige silk and diamonds. Conversation hummed, carefully. Richard cooked my recipes flawlessly. The room smelled like oranges, duck fat, and victory I wanted badly to believe in. Then Sharon tasted, paused, tilted her head. "This smells familiar," she announced. "Almost like the canned dog food my neighbor buys." I smiled. "I didn't cook this." Richard's fork chimed on china. "I did. The same duck I served to clients in Marseille, the risotto trade magazines wrote about, those tartlets Food and Wine photographed. You just called all of it dog food." Gasps. A crack in the Queen's porcelain mask. And then Richard did what great mentors do. He told the truth cleanly. "It's not about the food, Sharon. It never was. It's about competing with the man your daughter chose. You've been using dinner as a weapon." The guests evaporated like steam off a hot pan. "Excuses," muttered, chairs scraping. Richard shook my hand, nodded to Clara, and left the wreckage behind. Upstairs, a door slammed. Downstairs, Clara stared at the space her mother had occupied. I cleared plates because it gave my hands a job while my heart learned a new word for betrayal. "Are you upset she insulted me?" I asked. "Or that Richard exposed her?" Clara couldn't answer. Neutrality, I learned, isn't noble when someone you love is under attack. One week, Sharon retreated into strategic victimhood, pale, tragic, misunderstood. Clara tried to broker peace with phrases like she didn't mean it and she's still grieving. Then, the 7 words that sealed it. Maybe you're being a little sensitive. I packed my knives first. A short-term rental in Queens gave me something I hadn't had in months. Quiet. 3 days later, Richard called. Europe, menu development, long hours, fresh start. I said yes before he finished the sentence. Remembering how to breathe London kitchens where the banter needs subtitles. Barcelona arguments about paella that end in hugs and better rice. Amsterdam menus built for early diners. Copenhagen sauces that take 3 days and reward patience you didn't know you had. Professionals disagree, with vigor even, but they respect the work. No one compared anything to dog food. Somewhere between jet bridges and markets, I remembered I was good at this. Not adequate, good. After 6 months, I wanted roots again, on purpose this time. Portland fit, serious about food, unserious about pretense. I found a half-forgotten space with good bones and bad paint and named it Backbone. A little on the nose. Maybe. Accurate? Absolutely. The menu was everything I'd learned. Distilled. Elevated comfort. Humble ingredients treated with reverence, flavors that make people stop mid-sentence because joy short-circuits language. Word spread the way it does in towns that eat with their hearts first. Reviews came, regulars came, Richard came, sat at the bar and gave notes that made dishes better instead of smaller. Your former mother-in-law tried to book a table, he told me once, amused. New name, same voice. I declined. I laughed, then surprised myself by feeling more pity than triumph. After a year in, Clara wrote a long, careful letter. Apologies, explanations, a hope like a held breath. I read it twice, then filed it away. Not out of anger, I just didn't. Have energy for stories that insisted on making me smaller to keep someone else comfortable. Now I cook for people who say thank you, who treat a meal like the gift it is. Most nights, near closing, someone takes a bite, goes quiet, and smiles, like they've just remembered a good childhood. That look is my paycheck. If you want a moral, here's mine. Some sauces break and won't come back, no matter how hard you whisk. Some houses are beautiful until you turn the lights up, and some spines grow back the moment you stop apologizing for having one. Backbones open at 5. Bring your appetite. Leave your pearls at home.